I hit my breaking point and I walked outside. I turned on YouTube, praise and worship music, and I immediately opened the Bible. Actually, I'm 99% sure it was right after your sermon where you said, if you want to talk to God, if you want God to speak to you, why open his word and what he said. And I walked outside, I turned on worship music, praise and worship, and I opened the Bible and I just started reading. And I chose to praise him in that moment. At every other time I would have ran.
Welcome to the Afterthoughts podcast. It's the Thanksgiving special.
Oh, yeah.
We've done it again. Matt Johnson has rejoined us.
Yes.
It's your second Thanksgiving
Matt
special.
Johnson 2.0.
Yes.
Matt, how
I
does
feel
it feel?
It feels incredible. I'm not scared to sit here like I was last year.
Very good. That's what we were hoping. And we have a studio audience today. We've got Amanda here back again. And she's here because she knows every year on the Thanksgiving special, we do some sort of tasting.
Oh, yeah.
Which we'll get to.
Yeah.
We also have Matt's grandfather, Dennis.
Dennis. Come on,
Hey,
Dennis.
welcome.
Dennis the Menace.
Dennis the
On
Menace.
set today. Probably going to pull some pranks.
Oh, yeah. We got to watch our backs, E.
On today's Thanksgiving special, we have a turkey that's making its way here, and we will be able to go live at points to Turkey Cam with Ethan Morales, our youth pastor, who is preparing, deep frying a turkey for us, and he'll report in here and there, and then eventually the turkey is going to make its way to the table, and we're going to test it and taste it. We've decided for the new century of the Afterthoughts podcast, we're going to put the apple pie controversy to rest.
That's good.
There's been a lot of drama.
It's good, Kayla. Too much drama.
Kayla and Morales have been enemies over this apple pie. So my hope is today you'll give a good rating to the turkey, but we'll see.
Okay.
He's deep frying it in the parking lot under a tent outside by himself.
Yeah, we're here. We're frying this turkey, Afterthinkers. We have been out here for about 40 minutes now. So we get 3 gallons of refined peanut oil.
But shout out to HEB as well.
Yeah.
They do a great job.
As they
for
say,
sure. Yeah.
here everything's better. HEB.
Yeah.
Is that what it stands for?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
I never
also
knew.
I've heard that the
It's
guy.
also his initials.
Yeah, the guy who founded it, his name is Howard E. Butts. So I'll be mature about that.
Yes.
Wow.
HEB. But then they made a
Here,
tagline here:
everything's
everything's
better,
better.
yeah.
So,
Which is funny because we talked about how large HEBs are when we were driving down this morning. Like, Pops was like, yeah, like HEBs are huge. And I'm like, yeah, it's Texas. Like, that's...
it's
It's
everything.
because of all the apple pie.
They have great apple pie, and
Yeah.
they're kind of cornered the market there. This episode of the Afterthoughts podcast is brought to you by Thanksgiving, a holiday that we celebrate every year, and I don't honestly know exactly why, but we're thankful for a lot of different things. And as Doug told us recently, gratitude is a superpower.
Sure is, man.
So let's begin with everyone sharing something that you're thankful for this round.
Ooh.
I'll start.
For this year? Like what are we thankful for
Just
that happened
as we sit around the Thanksgiving table. This is being filmed live on Thanksgiving, even if it comes out before then. We're here at the Thanksgiving table. We're going to share in a turkey together. What's something you feel very thankful for? Now I'll let one of you guys go first. I've been talking the whole time so far. Everyone's growing weary of me.
You know, we have had a lot of bad seasons as Broncos fans recently. I'm very grateful to Bo Nix and the whole crew. 9-2. Team doesn't look like a 9-2 team, but the team is 9-2.
Well,
and I'm grateful for it.
I'd say we look like a 9-2 team after beating the Kansas City Chiefs.
That was so phenomenal.
but look at the
We
Kansas City
pre-recorded the
Chiefs.
Brain Code episode before the Broncos played the Chiefs. So, and last week we didn't have the chance to talk about the fact that we beat the Chiefs.
That's right.
And here's our Broncos hat to remind you the whole episode, all you Chiefs fans, that we're 9-2 and you're 5-5 right now.
Isn't that like a 70s hat?
That's old school.
Yeah.
That should be the permanent logo.
They
in
bring it
uniform.
back every once in a while.
Ah.
Yeah, they should bring it back permanent.
So thankful that the Broncos beat the Chiefs.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a
very
great
grateful.
answer.
Yeah.
I love that.
What about you guys?
So many things. I'm trying to pick which one I want to say.
Wow.
Actually, I'm gonna go this route because we just put up all of our Christmas decor.
Yeah.
And I like Christmas decor. Like once it's up, I'm a Christmas guy, not a Scrooge at all. I've just always I've always been the guy who doesn't see the value of all the money that Christmas decor costs, the bins you got to buy, and the storage, because we don't got a lot of storage at our house. And I'm always the one getting the bins down and
in
putting
the
the
attic.
bins away. It's a lot of time to set everything up. It's a
Super
lot of
easy to
time
get
to
up in the
take
attic.
everything down.
Yeah.
I've risked my life every year up on a high ladder, putting up lights. And part of me, if I'm being honest, over the last 7-8 years has wondered, is it worth it? And yesterday I just felt like it's so worth it. And I'm very grateful for this Christmas season and that I get to get bins down. And with my kids, like Mila was hanging ornaments on the very bottom of the tree, trying to figure out what we're doing. And then I'd put one up, and then so she'd grab one and kind of, she'd place it on the tree, and then it would fall off because she's not actually using the hook because she's one and doesn't understand. But it was just, I don't know.
Well, Doug, it sounds like your heart's really been changed, man.
It's been changed,
so to
dude.
be clear, for Thanksgiving, what you're thankful for is Christmas.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, very good.
And in the last like 7-8 years, Chris missed it, man, and now I didn't. So
Wow.
You're back.
Yeah,
He's back.
there we go.
It's a comedy show.
Good
up here.
start.
Come on.
I'm grateful that Dennis is here. First time we've had a grandpa on set.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Dennis.
I like that.
Congratulations.
I like that. And maybe unfortunate for him, the last time he was here, he also had to go to a podcast with me.
There you go.
So I was like,
He's kind of your hype man.
I said that the tables have turned because I'm like, hey, like now instead of like take your kid to work day, I'm like, it's take your grandfather to work.
There you
day.
go.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah,
It could be a new thing we start.
Yeah. I mean,
The week before Thanksgiving, maybe we'll start take your. Yeah, I don't know.
And we could actually we could turn
I'll put it
this
to
actual
Congress.
table.
you
I'll
could
email.
We could actually turn this table 90 degrees.
Government.gov.
You're the only one who heard that. You and Amanda, she got it.
Doug, did you say something funny?
No, I said for that segment we could actually turn the table.
Nice.
Tables have turned.
That's really good.
You see
Thank
how many
you.
times he's done that in the last 35
Turn the
seconds?
table of content.
Yeah,
We're hoping-
Yeah,
we're
I don't
hoping-
think Kayla's appreciating it, so let me do it one
She
more
gave
time.
it a 6 out of 10.
It might
Just
like
like
the
the pie.
delivery.
She's just looking. She's like, I'm not.
We're hoping Marolis is doing well right now with the turkey. Hopefully, it's close to being done. I'm
Deep frying a
getting
turkey.
very hungry.
by
Hopefully
yourself.
the camera he's using
not easy.
is okay,
It's
and
okay.
hasn't like fallen in the.
Yeah, he's using Matt's phone
Yeah.
to record this, so we're hoping that he doesn't
Sorry about
break
your.
his phone.
He's a confident
Yeah.
chef, though.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah, I love
He
that
is.
about him.
Thank you, chef.
Yes, Ethan. Excited to be here. We are frying this turkey. We got the propane hot. Make sure the fire is off. The fire is off. We gotta turn the fire on. Hey, what is okay? All right, you're okay. What's going on? All right, never mind.
What are you grateful for, Matt?
Oh man, I am. Man, I don't have like a you like built up with a story.
That's
It was
fine.
a good
Yeah.
one. Yeah,
Just
you're-
Nobody likes it, though.
Just-
It's honestly better when you don't do that.
We're trying to keep this podcast to an hour
Yeah.
or so.
I'm grateful
saying
for.
It's a part of our problem.
Yeah, I'm grateful for health and wellness. Like
Ooh,
that
yeah.
is just which obviously we'll talk about, but like just recently coming off of the run across Texas, and
Yeah.
I trained so hard, and I had an injury on day 3, and it hit me really hard because I was like, man, like we'll dive into it later, but I was like, man, you only want health and wellness when you don't have it.
Mm.
And or you only really think about it when you don't have it. Like, what's that saying where like,
Yeah.
everyone wants money and they'll wish for money and fame and, love until they're sick. And then the one thing they wish for is
Yeah.
that they were better.
Yeah, you have 100 problems until you're sick, and then you have one problem.
Yes. And I felt that to my core when I had that Achilles injury where I'm like, I was making calls to try to find people to come out, and I was telling Amanda, I'm like, I don't care what it costs. Like, I'll cover it on my own. Like, I need someone to come help me. I mean, so this season, and especially a lot of things that, Amanda's been battling, and, as we've battled through this season of, her losing her mom and then recently losing her grandfather, and, going through all of those things together, it's just, we wake up every single day, and, in our prayers, it's, thank you for, giving us health and giving us wellness and giving, our family that. And it kind of reminds you to, the one thing I think that we just don't think about a lot is that I'm so happy that I'm healthy and my family's healthy and I'm happy and I'm whole, and so is my family.
Very good.
That was such a good answer, Matt.
Yeah.
And we always like to have Matt on the Thanksgiving episode because while everyone is eating a ridiculous amount of food being unhealthy, we like to talk about running 1,000 miles
Yes.
to make everyone feel
Yeah.
unhealthy.
Dude.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm probably the unhealthy one that's doing it,
Well-
let's be honest.
Okay. I'm just receiving word now. Marolis,
Well, Ethan,
I'm hearing that you have the turkey prepared.
we are wrapping up our cooking process.
Very good.
Look at this bird.
We're going to get the turkey on set here, folks. Brace yourselves. The turkey is making its way to the podcast set, and we really hope that it's thoroughly cooked.
Yeah. Is it as bad for you as eating chicken that's not thoroughly cooked?
I would imagine very similar.
Probably.
He didn't start it that long ago.
Chicken and turkeys are cousins. He's been here since last night, out in the parking lot. Here he comes.
Whoa!
Let's go.
Marolas, look at this.
This looks phenomenal.
Got the bird for you.
Carved it.
This is amazing.
Wow.
Dude, this
What
looks
did you
so
cut it
good.
with?
Setup
2
is
forks?
insane.
Here, turn your. I
It's history style. It should just fall apart.
He said he cut it.
The kids will know this.
There's a pocket knife.
The tenderness. Their tendernism. Dang it.
Just give us a quick rundown of what are we looking at here? What did you do?
Very tight space. So
A lot of broad-shouldered, tough guys.
yeah, big.
Sorry about
Yeah.
man.
So this morning at like, I don't know, 4 a.m. I woke up, started preparing.
You worked out first. You ran like
yeah. Me,
Ran across Texas.
Yeah, me and Matt ran across Texas
Let me just
together
run across
this
Texas
morning.
really quick.
Yeah. And no, we got here probably around like 9. Started getting the fryer up. Peanut oil, refined peanut oil, same thing they use at Chick-fil-A because that's God's greatest gift to chicken. So we're gonna make God's greatest gift to turkey.
Nice.
And then you set it at 350. You want to have it hidden there the whole time, rolling it for about 10 minutes before you drop your turkey. Make sure your turkey is completely dry. That is how house fires start. And
That is
as
true.
Smokey the Bear says,
Only we can prevent
house fires, I guess,
House
in
fires.
this scenario.
on Thanksgiving.
So yeah, make sure it's completely dry. What I did is last night I infused it with Tony. Wow, I'm not gonna get the name on it. Tony seasoning.
Put some Tonys on it.
Yeah, put some Tonys on it.
Yeah.
There it is. Put some Tonys on
Yeah,
it.
you
Put some
can-
Tonys on it. You have injectables that you pump into the turkey, and then
this is a vaccinated turkey.
100%.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, great.
Not to get
Good.
political.
Okay,
This
Not
is
to get
controversial.
All right, Morales.
But hey,
It's
we got to
Thanksgiving,
try
bro.
this thing. Buttered jalapeno. It's going to be a little spicy, I bet. That's
good,
how I like our turkey. That's how my dad.
I can
shout out
feel
Joe
it. I can
Morales.
feel
Want
it,
to shout out
dude.
my
I can
father.
feel it.
Feel the
He's
Oh,
been
yeah.
in this.
Come at
So
you.
Kayla,
I can smell the Tonys.
yeah.
Let's
I'll
get some
try.
over to Kayla as well
Yeah,
because
yeah.
her rating is really what matters.
Dude,
Of that plate over there.
What?
This is very good.
let's see what we got here.
All right, one bite. Everybody knows. Oh, okay. One
already-
bite, Steve.
already-
They already-
already
Okay,
done
one
it.
bite. I'm ready.
One bite.
I'm
I'm
Everybody
ready
knows
for my
rules.
first bite.
Yeah,
That's
that'll work.
really
Yo,
good.
what the heck?
Oh, she'll do.
Marolas. Well done.
You did that?
Well, it's just
I know you
perfectly
did
cooked,
it.
I would say.
did.
I'm giving this a 10 out of 10.
There is a little spice.
It's
Just a little bit.
salty.
That's really good. This is a really good.
This is
Are they
so
allowed to,
good.
Kayla? Are we like rating it? Are we giving? What are we doing?
I gave it a 10 out of 10. You pick your own rating system.
That's the best turkey I've ever had.
Are you serious?
Uh huh.
Yeah,
That's
it's
so
one of the
good.
best, yeah.
I think you actually messed up and did way better than you thought. Because
That's actually all of my life.
Yeah.
because I'm
You're
Stumbling
exceeding
into
ex-
success.
You under-promised and over-delivered, dude.
because I'm not I'm on the same wavelength. I think that's the best turkey I've ever had. Pops, what'd you think?
9.9.
Wow.
Oh, 9.9 out of 10.
Kayla, what's your rating? Out of 10.
That's a 10 out of 10.
Wow.
turkey.
Did you eat some?
So
Kayla, that's
Dude,
how we
everybody
know
get
it's
some?
real because Kayla would not have budge.
She's
Yeah.
not
No,
gonna.
she'll
Yeah,
tell
I
you.
really, like I keep like I'm
That was
like,
a
I'm
really
like,
good
I'm like
turkey.
all right, I'm done. All right,
and
I'm done.
normally
And
I
I
don't
just
like.
keep going
I'll
back.
eat turkey, but I'm a ham person at Thanksgiving because normally turkey's
There you go.
dry.
There you go.
Well, normally it's dry, but this
right.
I'm like
This
I
has
will.
changed the game.
I'll go for
Yeah.
seconds on that.
Well, I'm going to give him an A- just to keep him humble, keep him hungry for next year. We need him to be thinking about how can I make it even better.
There you go.
But Marolas, my goodness. Thanks, bro.
Thank you, dude.
Let's give a round of applause to Marolas, everybody.
Seriously, so good, dude.
Wow.
Come on.
Yay!
What's fun is now Kayla's got a game for us.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
And it
A
also
lot of shenanigans
involves-
on the Thanksgiving special, as we've always said.
Yeah, we like
put
to
my
have
napkins
fun.
in.
Every
be
year on the
around
Afterthoughts
friends
podcast
and
Thanksgiving
family.
special, we do
somewhere.
some sort of gag
Gag.
game.
What do you got for us, Kayla?
We'll
Oh,
be
this
off
was so
mic,
hard
but
last year.
so we're about to play a game where you can possibly be pied in the face or not. I'm going to give you some facts, kind of like the brain code episode where it was like false, true or false, essentially.
Okay.
I'm going to give you some facts. Maybe they're true, maybe they're false.
Yep.
And you're going to have to say whatever. And if you're right, you move on to the next person and you don't have to do it. And if you
Okay.
get it wrong,
I like it.
whatever it is, then you have to, we can do the spinner.
So if you're
of
wrong,
the-
you spin this.
Yes, we'll do that.
Oh, and then that's the mini clicks you get.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
Here we go. Here
And
we
you
go.
never know. It's random.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, this game is so random.
Like a slot machine.
Dude, this game is
So
such...
expect really big dopamine hits.
Yeah.
You might be addicted to this game.
Yes.
Like I am. We do it every night.
I'll put a $100 bill down that I bet that you
I'll give you 3-1 odds on that.
over under set at 3
I'm going
clicks.
to parlay it with the Wekenman brothers both.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right,
Yep.
let's go.
Silicon
Okay.
Valley, actually, they designed this.
Okay, so I have 8 questions. So
Wish we could get
some
more of
people
that
might be
turkey.
pied, some people might not, and that's okay.
Okay.
Okay. True or false? Cranberry sauce was actually invented as a medicine before becoming a holiday food.
True.
False. Spin.
Oh no!
Just try to do that with confidence, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, I know this one to be
Spin
true.
the wheel.
Please be 5. 3.
3.
Okay. Here you go.
First one.
Let's go, Doug.
No!
All right, Matt.
Let's go, Matt.
Yep.
No.
Okay. Oh, this one's a good one for you. So the average American eats more calories on Thanksgiving Day than a professional athlete eats in an entire day.
Oh,
True or false?
that's true.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Correct. Okay.
Here we go. Here we go.
All right.
I was just thinking about how many I can
You
eat on
spin-
Thanksgiving,
you
and I'm
spin
like,
that?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What do we got, Kayla?
True or false? The first Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade featured live animals from the Central Park Zoo and not balloons.
She asked that last year.
Oh, she did?
Really?
Yeah,
I'm going to
clip
say
it.
true.
Clip it.
Yes.
I don't even remember last
Oh, dude, E, you're up.
Let's go, E.
Yeah.
I'm making a bib. This is one of my few nice shirts.
Yeah, that's fair.
Thanks for dressing up for the Thanksgiving special.
I got this at Target.
He's either going to a wedding or doing Thanksgiving today. I'm not sure.
All right.
You
True
gotta be
or
ready
false?
for anything.
True or false?
True or false? Male turkeys can change the color of their head depending on their mood.
False.
It's true.
Oh, boy. Spin the wheel.
Obscure, I should have known.
I love it. It's gonna hit you just
2.
2.
no matter
Uh-oh.
what's happening.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
The flinch.
It's back to Doug.
It was the eye flinch where you're like,
It's the thing. It's like the thing when you go to get your eyes checked in there. It's like that
yeah,
shot
yeah.
of air, and it's like you're bracing for it, but it's
Yes,
still.
yes.
And they
Freaks you
wait extra long.
Yeah.
This has to
All
hit.
right.
Come on.
All right,
I actually
Doug.
do have a perfect picture of my daughter Kinsley the first time she tried this with
Right.
this big smile on her face as this is it's like it's right about she has no idea what's about to happen.
True or false? Thanksgiving was originally scheduled for the summer until Abraham Lincoln moved it to November.
False.
Correct.
Oh.
No.
Let's go, Matt.
Okay, we have 3 more questions.
Bring the calorie
True
one.
or false?
Hopefully turkeys can change
Pumpkin
the color.
spice was originally a perfume scent sold in the 1920s.
False.
Yes. Oh my gosh, guys. Nobody's going to get their...
I will.
That's
I'll
you're
get
right.
it wrong. Whatever.
Yeah, you will.
Come on, pumpkin
Okay.
spice in the 20s?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
pumpkins have been around way long.
Yeah.
I want that.
Yeah, I was thinking in my head, I was like, dude, that pumpkins weren't around until like the 70s.
When were pumpkins invented?
Okay,
All right, let's go.
True or false? Turkeys can drown if they look up when it's raining.
Drown if they look up when it's raining.
It could have
Like
happened
a,
this
like a
morning 'cause
downpour.
it was raining on Marolis
Not just
there
a
for
sprinkle,
little
a
bit.
downpour.
I'm going to say true.
It's false.
Oh! This is the one. This is one.
It has to be.
Yes. 4.
No.
I don't
Just
stand
go
a
ahead and
chance.
brace. Just go ahead and
Slow-mo.
brace for it.
That was
no.
I
Oh,
like when just, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, it just.
Well, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Well,
That's great.
Ryan, we'll give you a little time.
Yeah.
Couldn't
Wow.
have worked out better than it did.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
let's talk about the deductive reasoning here of how could a turkey drown
Yeah.
by looking up?
Matt, you make a really good point.
It was one of those like you're guessing.
But yeah,
It
it
was
sounds
the way
so
Kayla
like-
I thought it was so
I know.
absurd.
She
It
said
was good
during
asking.
a downpour.
Yeah.
During it, just so you know, it's
Yeah.
during a downpour.
Yeah.
I thought it was so absurd that it had to be
It wasn't just rain.
true.
It was not just rain.
Wow.
And that's what you get.
The Thanksgiving special, you just never know what could
Yeah,
happen.
you
It's
never
a
know.
wild episode. So, Matt, for the second time you ran across Texas, not sure why you'd do that. Didn't learn your lesson the first time. Tell us a little bit about the journey. So last year, obviously God did a lot through your life, started working in a lot of different ways. And then you decided to do this whole thing again. And it's been a whole different type of experience. But what led you in the first place to say, I'm going to try to run across Texas a different direction this time?
Well, doing it twice the same direction would be boring, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, you
Yes.
gotta, you know, it's like, you know, you drive the same highway every day and you're like, man, like if I just,
I got to put the car in reverse.
I gotta take Mopac.
Wait, you ran the same route, just the opposite way?
No.
or
I
completely
went.
different?
So last year I went El Paso to Galveston, west
Yeah,
to east. This
right.
year I went Oklahoma to Mexico, north to south.
Right.
Nice.
Right.
Okay.
So, what caused me
Which
to
is
do
far.
it again?
Yeah. It's a far distance
Yeah.
from
Big
my
state.
estimation.
So the first year last year it was 17 days and some change.
Yep.
841 miles. This year was 19 days and some change, 891 miles.
Jeez.
So yeah, it was
Wow. When you say some change, what do we mean by that?
by hours. So like
Okay.
the
So
way
day 20 for
yeah,
a few
yeah.
hours.
So when you finish on the way that like these big multi-day endurance events work is that if you finish on day 20,
Yeah.
like
It's 19.2.
it's 19
Yeah.
and because we started at 7 a.m.
yeah.
So we finished on the 20th day, but we finished at 11 a.m. So
Got
it
it.
was 19 days, 4 hours.
Dude, that's
and
wild.
yeah. So yeah, it was cool. You know, I was the fastest. There's about 5 people I think that have done it, 5 or 6. So I was fastest west to east. And then there was one guy that has done the Texas 1000, so 1,000 miles on a certain route.
Jeez.
But then I was the only one to run, you know, this route. So only man to do both.
Cool.
And
And I don't know why anyone else would try.
No.
Yeah.
I think
So
that record is
Somebody
safe.
already did that, so we're covered. That's
Yeah.
humanity.
So-
a guy took care of this for all of us. Thank you, Matt.
It'll be very interesting because I called out, like in the YouTube video that we did, is I called it the Texas Traverse, and I challenged someone to do it. I'm like, hey, like it's you run Texas west to east, and you run Texas north to south, and you have 370 days to start both, because that's what I did. It was right over a year, it's 370 days. So I'm like, you have 370 days to do both, and then your total time is the record. And I'm like, you know, raise money for charity and document the process. So hopefully I think it would be really cool. Like the whole team that was out there, we were all part of it. We were all the very first ones. And I'm like, so I just called on, you know, I was like, somebody out there, I'm like, come and get it. So
Cool.
I'm excited.
Wow.
I can't wait.
So cool.
Even west to east, you know, like what we have noticed is, you know, just with the Instagram platform in the last year, the amount of people that are running across states to raise money for charity. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say I started that, or, you know, but I think that we had a very big impact on causing people to see this and be like, oh, I want to do that across my home state, and I also want to raise money for charity. So it's really cool. But why did I do it again? Yeah, that's a great question. In December, Drew, who's my best friend, he sent me the route of the Texas 1000, and he's like, you know, I think this is really cool. And I've been having this feeling inside of me, and I truly believe that, you know, I mean, hopefully it's the truth, or I just lied to Amanda. But we were sitting on the couch one night, and I'm like, hey, I was like, I feel like God really put it on my heart that I have to do this again. And she's like, oh.
He did?
She's like, are you sure? No, I don't think so. And,
was a
you know, and she's like, why? And I'm like, because I felt like I didn't, and this is, you know, I guess this is between me and God, but I was like, I felt like I didn't push myself hard enough. And I also felt like I didn't do good enough at raising enough money for Valor Fit, because, you know, and I was very transparent about this and I'm probably way too transparent on social media, but that's just who I am. You know, last year we spent $50,000. I spent $50,000 to make the run happen, and I raised 30. And that did not sit with me. And I even posted about that on social media where I broke down the cost, and people were commenting, and they're like, oh, this is a whole different podcast, but it's like, oh, like, you know, you why didn't you just donate the original 50 to charity? Which I'm like, yeah, not the point. But then, you know, sitting on that, you know,
Why don't you?
Yeah. They never will.
Yeah.
They're better at just leaving mean comments.
yeah, you know, and it's just, you know, so that was the biggest, you know, that was the reason why. And, you know, it's just been so incredible, because I feel like, you know, that God, like, I really feel like God called me to do these 2 events because that is, you know, the draw of drawing me closer to him. And I feel like, you know, which you have said to me multiple times, we'll get into the story that obviously, you know about, but, you know, where like, it's like God calls to you in ways that only you will understand.
Yeah.
And, you know, that could be I love getting my nails done. So you feel called to go get your nails done, and you meet somebody in there that tells you who Jesus is, and you become saved, and it changes your whole life. You know, like just so many different scenarios. And I really felt like, you know, that I was called to be out there alone with my team, but, you know, alone with myself. And even last year, I felt like I was never closer to him than I was. When you watch the sunrise on the side of a highway in the middle of nowhere, you will never in your life feel closer to God. And, you know, it's not the same as watching the sunrise out the window of your car as you're driving to work, or watching the sunrise from your backyard. Like when you have nothing of familiarity around you, when you are with nobody, when you are trying to do the hardest thing you've ever done, and you are reminded every single morning that God will rise the sun and it is a new day, is just, I was emotional every morning.
Yeah.
You know, just watching it. And I feel like, you know, the whole thing, which me 2 years ago would be like, unfortunately, when I came in here and I was like, oh my gosh, Ethan, I had a vision. Tell me it's not true. I don't want it. And you're like, oh man, welcome to the show. Here we go. You know, but it's just, it's been so incredible to, you know, I went through so many trials and tribulations this summer with, you know, my job and working with brands, and, you know, which you and I have completely talked about. And I called Ethan at one point, and I'm like, even Amanda has said, she's like, with everything going wrong, do you think God's telling you not to do this?
That's an interesting question.
And, you know, because it was, I mean, it literally anything that could go wrong. We lost our title sponsorship 39 days out, which was, we lost all of the money 39 days out. So I had no money to do it. Then 6 days out, I had paid almost $11,000 for an RV through a third-party company. Like, imagine like Airbnb, like you rent out a house, and then Airbnb, this company, calls me and is like, hey, your RV got repossessed. So like you can't rent it anymore. And I'm like, well, where's my money? And they're like, oh, it'll be back in your account in 7 to 10 business days. You know, now I'm like, where's my money? And I don't have an RV. Like, there was just so many things that went wrong, you know, and then like with what Amanda was battling in her life, and she was gone most of the summer, and I was home alone trying to train and trying to help her, you know, go through the loss of her mother. And it was just the strive on our relationship. And, you know, it was just, I think, it was a reminder of just having steadfast faith. And just, you know, there was a point where I hit my breaking point, and and I don't even know what my breaking point was or what that even means, but I hit it. And we were going through, what was the series that we were going through this summer? What was the one before Kiss the Fire?
Rowdy Church.
Rowdy Church. Yes.
Good job, Kayla.
Yes, thank you.
Good, somebody remembers that. Wow. We were
I don't know how we know. I put him on the spot, and I just
didn't even remember last week.
I remember us
We just
talking.
survive one
I remember
sermon
us
at a
talking
time.
at some point this summer about praising at all times. And I hit my breaking point, and I walked outside. I turned on YouTube, praise and worship music, and I immediately opened the Bible. Actually, I'm 99% sure it was right after your sermon where it was yours. 100. I know it was. You
Bump it up to 100%, man.
You were talking about. You said, you know, if you want to talk to God, why are you not opening the Bible?
Right. Good.
Like if you want to talk to God, if you want God to speak to you, why open His Word? And what He said.
Nice.
And I walked outside, I turned on worship music, praise and worship, and I opened the Bible and I just started reading.
Yes.
And I'm not, at every other time I would have ran, I would have been angry, I would have been mad, I would have been upset, and I chose to praise Him in that moment. And that was the day I lost the title sponsorship. 12 to 16 hours later the next morning, we had recouped that plus double through 2 other brands that wanted to jump in and partner with us.
Wow.
And it was just,
That's cool.
I don't know. It was the you know, the run itself is, you know, I didn't start running until 2021. I didn't race my first race until 2022. Like, this is, I feel like what I am living right now in where God has called me to be, where He has tried to call me to be since 2021. You know, through all of the you know, all of the changes that I've made as a man, where I went from just being a bad person to, you know, trying to be better, deciding I wanted to be different, moving to Austin, you know, finding my faith again. And like, I am living, when it's like, when you look back and you're like, man, like those were the days, right? Like, I know I am living in the days of like God working through people and myself in my life.
Yeah.
And it's incredible.
What's been cool is seeing season 2 of Matt this year.
Yeah.
That, and we, you know, when that day happened, when everything seemed like it was falling apart, there's always going to be circumstances that are out of your control, right? And Jesus said, in this world you will have trouble. We've been talking about that a lot recently. I watch a lot of people, when they find their faith, things start to click in a different way, naturally, because you're welcoming Jesus into your life. You're starting to change what you're focused on, what you're living for. You start to experience his joy and his peace. And it's like, cool, this is the new life that I wanted. And everything seems to be clicking. But then you live some life and it's not always like that. Yeah. And I've watched people, and it's, you know, the shallow rooted faith that kind of quickly some trouble comes and it's like, I'm out. I signed up for something that wasn't what it actually is, because things are hard now, or it's not perfectly working out to plan. But the day that we talked, I was like, well, what did you do after all this stuff fell apart? You're like, dude, I sound like such a Christian. You're like, I went out on my back porch and I turned on worship and read my Bible. And I was like,
Let's go, Matt.
That is what you can control, is your
That's
response
awesome.
to those things.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I think God's been showing you, is like, hey, there's going to be a lot of ups and downs. There's going to be times where you decide to do something and it clicks and it's easy. It's just the easy path. But then there's going to be times where you have to fight for something that you believe in and that I'm calling you to. And all you can control within it is how you respond and how you treat people and how you seek me when things get really, really tough.
Yeah.
And that's what's really cool about this year, is I feel like you had to fight a different battle to get to this. And then some different things happened. So talk about then you like fought to get there.
Yeah.
And then you got hurt day 3.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I will. But first I want to say, like, what's really cool is, you know, I have like the Tonys that we put on that is like in my throat. The turkey, the Tonys. I'm like,
Yeah, do you need water? We can
I
go grab water.
got my caffeine. This is my water, coffee or energy drinks. First, I do like, I want to say this, because I know that others that are listening to this are invested in the church. And, you know, the biggest thing is that, you know, what is taught here and talked about, I think that you three and everyone that works in this church doesn't get enough credit for making things relatable to this generation. You know, and because if I was to just go into a church where they opened the Bible, they read scripture, and they said, this is what scripture says, and scripture is what we do, right? Like, I remember, like, I went to, when I was younger, like, that's a church I grew up in, and I just knew scripture, and we memorized scripture, but I didn't know
The context.
I didn't know what to do, right?
Yeah.
But like, when I come into church and Ryan says, if you want to talk to God, read his word. Okay, so then that means, you know, and then when you say, you know, as a Christian, it doesn't get easier. It probably gets a little bit harder, right? Like, I just read something when I was on the way here, and it said, you know, the path to heaven feels like hell, and the path to hell feels like heaven, right? And that is true, right? Because this isn't an easy world to live in. And then, you know, what you all say and do are things that I apply and that help me have a closer relationship with God. So I just,
That's awesome, man.
like,
That's
shout
cool,
out
dude.
to you
Thank
guys.
you.
Like,
Thank you, man.
truly, like, you know,
Yeah.
I mean that with everything in me. Like, the way that you guys teach and the way that you make it relatable, you know, as you read the word, you read the verses, but then you come back and you're like, you know, you just make it relatable. And that is something that, you know, where we have been, you know, we just went to a different church and watched our friend get baptized, and we walked away, and I was like, yeah, like, that was really cool. That was a really good service. And I'm like, but I didn't see the relatability. I didn't see the, you know, we read the word, but it wasn't like, okay, this is, you know, there's you guys just have this special, you know, and it's definitely just God, you know, God being here with you, but you guys have this way of just explaining things that make it simple for someone with a brain like mine, or with anybody, right? But like, to understand how to do something. So,
Well, it's one of the
props to
things
you
I
guys.
appreciate about when you read the teachings of Jesus. He knew his audience, and he would help them to actually understand what does this mean? Like, what do I do with this? What is God's heart behind this? And so I think that's every pastor's hope, is to mimic what he
Yeah,
did and helping
yeah.
bring to life what God is saying.
Yeah,
In
absolutely.
a way that people can do something
Yeah,
with
because
it.
like, as I was being brought up, it was like, hey, like, for God so loved the world that he gave his only son, and then Jesus died for you. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like, what a guy.
That's awesome.
You know,
what
like,
do I do tomorrow?
Yeah, and it's like,
Uh-huh.
okay, so like, but now what?
Yeah.
And then what I feel here in this church is, then you tell me what to do with that information. Why did it happen? How did it happen? What, and then you relate it back. You make it so relatable, and I feel like that's why the relatability. And obviously, like I now in my faith, I want to go and see these other churches and see how they, how does it feel? What does it look like? But here, like that's why I think it's going to grow so big, is because it can just be, it's so relatable in the way that it is taught.
Well, thank you.
Bro, thank you, man. That
really
means
nice.
a lot.
Yeah.
And shout out to you because you take the practical takeaway and you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of times on our end, the frustration is nobody's doing this though.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like often.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I just talked about this like a month ago. Were you there? Oh, you were there. But do you remember it? Are you not doing that?
Yeah,
Because if you were doing it, then we wouldn't be here talking about
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
And our brains are probably similar to yours
Yeah.
in that sense
Well,
where
don't
I
give-
need it simple.
Don't give props to me
And-
on that. Give props to Amanda because what we'll do
Ultimately, always
is
props to Amanda.
we have a 30-minute drive home, and she's like, so what'd you think of church today?
It's
And
awesome.
I'm like, yeah, it was good. And she's like, yeah. So anyways, they said, and I get
action plan.
I get a second. I get
awesome
a second.
is not an answer.
Yeah.
That's not what I didn't ask if you thought it was awesome or not.
Matt's like the kid when you say, "How was school today?" Good.
Yeah.
It is Will.
Yeah. Well, you've given me nothing there,
But yeah, there's a sorry. Really.
Oh, Doug, let's just say it at the same time.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
So James
I think it's a lot of
122
it is
actually
what
says
James says
very similar
about being
Yes.
doers of the word.
Yeah, don't just hear it or else you're just kidding
Do
yourself. You have to actually do what it says.
Oddly, we were actually going to say the exact
Were we
same
really?
thing. Yeah. Wow. Don't be just a hearer
That
of
was
the
the
word, but be a
Spider-Man
doer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Break that down.
So what you should do is you should read the verse and then you should explain it because that's what we're talking about.
Wow.
You know the verse?
You do.
James 1:22.
22, right?
Is that right?
James 1:22.
Don't merely listen to the
word.
word and so deceive yourself. Do what it says.
Yes.
I'll make one comment and then you
Just make as many as you want, man.
It's just one. I'll just have
I don't have the
one.
real estate on this
Wait,
verse.
hold on.
James
Hold
does.
on. You have to make 3 comments.
3 comments? Okay.
That's boring,
Well,
man. That might
It's
be-
honestly 3.5, 4. Matt wants
3 and
5.
change. Three
Be a
and
long
change.
sermon. 3 and change.
Well, I think we are the overtaught, underapplied generation of Christians. So we want to come to church and get that emotional high of, I learned something new and I got that new revelation. And we would rather learn something new than do what we already know. Because you get a dopamine hit when you sit in church or you listen to that podcast or you get more content. There's something about even life-changing content, whether that's spiritual in church or health and wellness world, of all these tips to really change everything about your life. I find myself often, let me listen to another one of those. 10 ways I changed my life in my 30s that I wish I knew when I was, 20. And I'm like, I know all 10 of these. I've listened to this video from 10 other people 100 times. But for some reason, I want to listen to another one instead of do the things I already know the guy's going to say in the video. And sometimes at church, we can feel that emotional rush of, man, that message made me emotional. I really felt like God spoke to me. And then we feel like we assume that we did it because we felt something in the moment. It's like, no, I just received the revelation, but I haven't gone and done it. And sometimes we think the high and that buzz is like, I did it.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you haven't applied it yet. It's when it's in the application that will change your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So don't just
good.
listen to the word and so deceive yourself.
Yeah.
Do what it
what it
says.
says.
Yeah.
Which is what you've been
Yeah.
trying to do.
Like,
Yeah.
so shout out to
Trying
you.
my best.
Yeah.
But that is a lot to the posture of how people show up to church as well, because I think you show up, and especially because of Amanda, like knowing I'm going to take something from this to apply to my life.
Right.
Where I think a lot of people, like Doug said, it's I checked the box and I went to church and I heard something that makes me feel smarter, or I learned something new about God, and that's great, but not with the posture of I'm about to go do something this week and I need God's presence in this. I need to lean on God. I
Yes,
want to see
yeah.
him work through my life. So what do I do with the word that's been taught to me? You had to face leaning on him, got hurt day 3. Let's talk about that and how you persevered then for 17 more days.
Yeah. Day 3 is a tough day to get hurt on.
Dude,
It's supposed to be the day of resurrection, but for Matt,
when you
It was a good day for Christ.
Oh, thanks, Doug.
when you when you have 750 more miles to go, it is it's a very bad time.
750.
that's bad.
Yeah. So
I hear that right?
Yeah.
Wait, sorry. So on average, how many do you run a day?
This year, I think it ended up being around 46 miles a day.
Okay.
So I ran 53 miles.
It's not right.
I ran 53 miles, I think 4 times.
Okay.
I ran 50 miles 2 or 3 times, and then I dropped a 30 on the day I got hurt, and then a couple 40s, and then a bunch of 46s, and it ended up averaging out to be 46 a day. So, So where do I start this story to make it all make sense? This is gonna be a long one. So cut me off whenever you want.
Okay.
But
You have 2 minutes. No, I'm just kidding.
The biggest thing was that I want to say is you actually kind of told me that this was going to happen, and which is funny because last year, if you go back,
Prophet.
if you watch this episode last year, I talked about the vision that I had, where like that was the first time that God had ever spoke to me, where like I was in tears, like I know, I had the Holy Spirit just within my body, and I was crying and sobbing, and I know that feeling of the Holy Spirit being there or God laying his hand on you, and I had the vision. Well, this year I met with Ethan right before I left, and I'm like, yeah, so like God just doesn't like me anymore because he won't talk to me. And I'm like, I know what it's like when he talks to me, and he hasn't talked to me, so I don't even know. I don't even know if like
Actually true for you.
I'm like I don't even know if I'm supposed to do this run. Yeah. I was like, with everything bad that's happening, is God trying to tell me not to do the run and I'm not listening, and that's the way that he's speaking to me? Or, because he hasn't given me a vision, and he's supposed to give me a vision because he did last year, and like this is everything that I'm spewing at him, and he's probably just like, holy crap, here we go. And, so, but he, you told me, and I don't know word for word verbatim, but, you're like, it'll happen. It'll happen. You won't even know it, but like it's going to happen. It's going to be all right. And I'm like, because I was almost nervous, because of everything bad that had happened. I started having doubt of like, is that I truly thought like God was trying to tell me not to do this. And I was nervous. So I get out day 3, and day 1, I was running next to a railroad track, and there was kind of a rock, and I didn't roll my ankle, but I stepped on a rock. You ever just kind of like step on a curb, and it just rolls it. And I was like, ouch, that hurts. I ran the 53 miles because that was my plan, was to run 53 a day. And that was at mile like 50 though. So like I was like, ouch, that hurt. I finished up at 53. The next day I woke up, it was a little achy. Finished out the day with 52. I was telling my crew chief that was out there, I was like, hey, it hurts. And he's like, let's just not go 53. I don't know why I tried to end at like 48, but then I decided people came and ran with me. So I was like, let's just keep going. So I ended at 52. That night when I went to bed, it was really aching. And I woke up on day 3, the morning of day 3, and I went to stand outside of bed, and I couldn't even put weight on it. Jeez. And at that point, like, we went out, and I pretty much walked 31 miles. It took me about 11 hours to walk 31 miles, which is like a 20-minute pace. I mean, that's a normal. Yeah. Like I just walked. Like there was nothing special about day 3 because I walked, and it was the worst pain that I had ever been in my entire life. I had convinced myself in my head that my Achilles was torn, and like it was swelling. It was like we were nervous. I woke up on day 4, was taking a whole bunch of anti-inflammatories, ibuprofen, stuff like that, was able to get a little bit of running in, and then it would like come back to the worst pain ever, to the point where like I was dry heaving on the side of the road because it was so bad. And that was the day where there's a video of me, and I just stopped and put my head in my hands, and I was sobbing. And because I had come to the realization where I'm like, the faster I go, the more it hurts. Yeah. The slower I go, the longer it's gonna take.
Right. So lose.
And
is a tough spot.
Yeah. And I am just sobbing. And which later on I talked to Drew, who I've already said, but Drew has been, he has been there for me since I moved to Austin. He's become my best friend. He has filmed, he filmed the Run Across Texas last year. He's filmed almost every ultra I've done, and then filmed this year. And I talked to him, and because we usually do like a debrief at the end of a race, like as we're nearing the end. And I'm like, what did you think? And he's like, I thought that you were going to quit. He's like, I thought I was going to have to like get on social media and go on like a PR nightmare of trying to figure out how I was going to try to save you social media wise on you pulling out. And that kind of put into perspective with me with like how bad everyone thought it was.
Yeah.
And yeah, so yeah, I mean that was the biggest issue.
So night 4, you're pretty much done.
Yeah, like night 4. So day 3 was the worst day.
Yep.
Day 4 I woke up and we ended up doing 42 I think, because we cut day 3 short. That's why I only did 30 and we only went at like 11 hours. Day 4 I think we went longer but slower, like longer hours but slower, lower miles.
And pain's getting worse at this point?
It's not getting better.
Yeah.
And by when I truly tell you, like, it was the worst. I can't imagine when I think about that. Like, I really wouldn't wish that pain on anybody. Like, I know that that's a cliche saying, but like I can't even explain how truly bad that it was. And even to the point where, imagine, you're drinking so much water, when you're done running. Like, I wake up and I go to the bathroom 3 or 4 times every night during these events, because you're pushing that water out of your system and your system's trying to clean itself of everything that's inside of it. Like, imagine waking up in the middle of the night in the worst pain that you've ever been in, and then you have to walk to the bathroom. Like, it was
knowing you have to run the next
knowing
day.
you have to run the next day. Even to the point where this is horrible, but this is how bad the pain was. That night, like, I started putting like a jug on the side of the bed so I didn't have to get up.
Yeah.
And like that's when like that it's bad.
Yeah.
And so we're doing all that we could to find PTs and like someone to work on this Achilles, because I got to the point where I was deep inside my mind. I looked at Drew and I said, I would rather die. I was in a whole different mindset here. I was like, I will die before I quit. I'm like, we are walking to Mexico. Yeah. Like, I'm like, if it takes us 40 days, it takes us 40 days. And Drew's like, that was the worst thing I could ever hear in my life. So we're going to walk. Like, that's the decision. We're going to walk this whole thing. We found PTs. I had this PT that's going to come in, and we were in a hotel room. This is night 5, I think. Do you remember for sure, Amanda? Was it 5? This was night 5. They're like, hey, the PTs are here. I'm like, all right, cool. And they're like, we're going to bring them up to your room. I'm like, all right. Opens this door, and in walk these 5 men. And how I know the presence of God is with them, I just talked about this on Froning's podcast, is I was like intimidated. That like these gigantic menly, like I almost, when they walked in, I was like, whoa. Like I felt
They're bringing something.
there was too much.
Yeah.
Sure enough, I start looking at all their shirts, and it's like Jesus is King, just jacked, ripped, huge, just they are bringing something. And it was so weird because I had seen all these shirts before with Steve Weatherford, and long story short, they get in there and they're like, hey, like, we believe like in the divine and that we're here. I don't know these guys. I've never talked to them. And they were just found through social media. Like, we believe that we're here for a reason. I don't think they probably had any idea like my faith. And they're like, the first thing we want to do is lay hands. Like, we want to lay hands on you and pray for you. And I'm like, come on, like, hurry up, make it happen. So they pray for me, and they work on my Achilles, and I'm going to talk about this real quick because it plays into the story. I started having a conversation with this guy, and I can't remember. I follow them on Instagram, but I can't even remember a single name of who they are or where their job is because I was just in so much pain. So forgive me. But I was talking to him, and I'm like, it's so bad because with Amanda, when we had that conversation in December on the couch, I looked at her and I said, no matter what, I have to reverse here because it plays really well. Last year, it was like it was go, 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 go. You cannot enjoy it. Like, we have to go at all times, fast, fast, fast. No time to have fun. Like, that was the vibe of the whole team. There was even a time where Amanda we were trying to stop and pet this horse. and like Amanda's like, come here, horsey, and like it was like, I'm not coming over there, and Amanda's like, come on, you can do it, and then like it was probably like 4 minutes of just Amanda just trying to like, acting like this horse is like a little dog and like, come on. And Rob, who's a very good friend of mine now, he's like, stop, like we don't have time for this, like we need to go. And then we left. So I had this funny saying with Amanda is when I told her this on the couch in December, I was like, but no matter what, I was like, we will stop and pet the horses.
Yeah.
As in like, we will enjoy it this time. So I'm having this conversation with this man and I'm like, hey, I'm like, this is the worst part of it isn't the pain. The worst part is I am staring at the ground in the worst pain I've ever been in my life. And I can't even look up at everything that's going on around me. I'm like, I can't even enjoy it because I am sick to my stomach the entire time. I don't care if I take 40 days. But at least allow me to be able to look around and enjoy. When you are in the worst pain of your entire life, you can't enjoy anything. And, he was like, don't worry. Like, you'll get there. Yeah, sure, buddy. Sounds
cool.
Good. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for the message. The next day I wake up and the PT, I'm running, and it's another like 42-mile day, and he texts me, he's like, hey, how are you? And I'm pissed off at this guy now. Like, I'm like, not good. Nothing's good. I'm not better. Your stuff didn't work. Now my hip hurts. What did you do to my hip? And then the next day comes, and this would be probably day 7, and we're out, and I'm running with my friend Kevin, and we're going into, it's actually the deepest valley in Texas. It's beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. Imagine like a very small Grand Canyon that just goes up and down, but you can see the road. Like the road goes down and you can see the road go up, and it's like a cliff. Like it's crazy. It's foggy that morning, and it's probably like that. Like when you walk outside and you just feel the hug of like 75 degrees and 90% humidity. That's exactly how it was. Like it was just comfortable. It was fun. And, we're walking, and I get my hiking sticks out, like these poles to help me because I'm limping and we have a big hill coming. And I noticed when I had that, that pole on the Achilles, it was always worse. So we just stopped to get my sticks, and it was blah, 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 blah. It's taking so long. And we're going down the hill, and Kevin goes, oh, look at that. And I like look over, and out of this, like a Civil War movie, out of this fog, probably 4 football fields away, comes this stallion of a horse. Brown, beautiful horse. And it comes running up to the fence, and it stops on the fence, and it just puts its head down. And it is not looking at me. It's literally just standing there with its head down. And I'm like, and my first thought, Kevin's like, what the heck? Like, this is like, what? He has no idea, right? He has no idea what's going on. And I'm like, my first thought was like, I don't have time for this. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, Kevin, like, we need to go. And I wasn't verbal with any of this yet. These are just quick thoughts in my head. And then I hear my own voice in my head. Like, I hear my voice say, no matter what, we will stop and pet the horses. And I'm like, you're kidding me. I'm like mad now because
so
now
specific though.
Like, yeah. And I'm like, and I'm not putting it together yet. And I'm like, this is like, and I felt like, why I said like, you're kidding me is because I felt like now I have to go do it.
Oh, yeah.
Like I felt like I was told that I had. So I like walk down, and as I get towards this horse, it bends its front knees and bows its head completely over the fence. Still won't look at me. And I have this all on video, and I take my hand out and I slowly touch this horse. And as I touch this horse, I can't even explain it, but like I just feel it. I like feel it into my body. It hits my chest. The only way that I can explain it is, have you ever got contrast in your body when you had to get like an MRI?
Yeah.
When you feel it hit your veins and you feel
really
it
weird.
hit you, and then you're like, that is what I felt. Like it was like I felt not that like feeling of like, wow, this contrast feels crazy, but like I felt it go into my body and into my chest, and I instantly sob. And I kind of knew in the moment that right there when I felt that was the same thing I had felt when God gave me that vision. And in that moment, I'm like, God just tested me to see if I was who I said I was going to be. If I was going to do what I said I was going to do, if I was going to enjoy the process. And I could like, and then like this horse and like, and then it turns its head and then it looks at me, and the way that it looked at me, like I felt like it was just staring into my soul.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, like, gotta go. See ya. And like, I didn't want to leave. Like, I wanted to stay there. And like, as I walked away, I get to the road and it's just standing there. It's staring at me from the side. And I'm like, I have to go. And as soon as I said that, it just turned around and left. And I have no idea where it went. Just gone into the timber.
And this is at the bottom of this.
This is
that
at the,
canyon.
this is like going into this canyon. And at this point, I'm telling Kevin, like, this is what happened. And Amanda and I were sitting on the couch and I told Amanda I had to pet the horses and I just pet the horse and this horse came out. And like him and I, it was really cool about him is we had been having conversations about God, and he was raised Mormon and he is very against any type of religion right now. But what's funny is we just been having conversations and we got to the bottom of the hill, we got to the top of the hill, and I'm like yelling, like my media guys are like filming down, and I'm like, we do it to pet this horse, and it was like, and then Amanda, and then she said this, and then I'm like telling everyone, and Kevin looked at me and he goes, you might just make me believe in God. And the instant back to him, I didn't even think, it came out. I'm like, you stay around me long enough and you're not going to have a choice. Yeah. And I go, whoa. Like, I was like, wow.
That's dope.
Like it just, I go, you stay around me long enough and you're not going to have a choice. And where this story comes to an end is that day on day 7, limped my way to the RV, horrible pain. We stop at the RV at mile 20. I think it was early on. It was 20. We stopped at mile 20. I get into the RV, and I do want to say this for anybody that questions what happened. I put my foot in Epsom salt that day. Mm-hmm. That's just for anybody that wants to try to prove this wrong. I stepped out of that RV and I never had Achilles pain again. None. Gone. 0.
Wow.
Nothing. And I believe that God healed me through that horse. And I believe that he put that horse there and I had free will to choose what to do in that moment. Do I want to do what I said I was going to do, which was stop and pet the horses, AKA enjoy the journey?
Right.
Or did I want to continue to move the way that I have been the last 3 years of my life where it's go, 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 and I never enjoy anything?
Wow.
And in that moment, I was like, I'm going to do what I said I was going to do.
Yeah.
And I went down and I touched that horse, and I truly believe that God healed me through that horse. And the reason why is because then after that, we saw horses every single day. That day as we were going into Post, Texas, the Post, this town, there's a big brick wall. Welcome to Post. Silhouette of a copper horse, full-size horse. We took a picture by it because it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Like Kevin's like, are you kidding me? I was like, I told
Yeah.
you, buddy.
Yeah.
I
Hang
told
around
you.
long enough.
I told you. That next morning, we wake up, another trial. The van is dead. We have to now use the RV. They're going to drop us off. Amanda has to throw on a backpack to, hey, you're going to be with Matt for the next 4 hours. We need to fix this van. Okay, Amanda's like, let's go, buddy. Like, she starts packing up. We go on it's dark, it's pitch black. We're on the side of an interstate. I'm terrified for her life. I'm like light behind me, holding my phone light. My watch light is on. Like, I'm thinking we're going to get hit. That's besides the fact. Sun comes up. First thing that we see as the sun is rising, we look over, we see this black silhouette of this cowboy on his knees praying at a cross, holding a rope of a horse. That morning. That afternoon, we get lost. Kevin and I, once again, gotcha, Kevin, I'm going to get him. We get lost. We turned down, you guys remember this? You went straight on this road. Kevin and I went down the dirt road, and then you had to come around and meet us. We go down this dirt road, and there's a pen full of horses, and they all leave the pen. 8 horses come up to the fence, drop their heads at the fence, and we're petting all these horses. To the point where I called my friend from back home, and I'm like, hey, some weird things going on with horses.
Yeah.
His wife owns like 8
Great
horses.
line.
Any weird horse stuff
Yeah,
going on too?
yeah. Well, that's exactly. So his wife they own 8 horses. Yeah. I'm like, hey, there's some weird things going on with these horses. He's like, okay, like he's a believer as well. But I didn't tell him anything yet. I said there was this horse, and it came up to the fence and it bowed its head. It wouldn't even look at me. And then there was another one that did it and another one that did it, and I'm not understanding what happened. And he's like, dude, he's like, I've never heard of that. He's like, I feed JC, his wife. He's like, I feed JC's horses every single day, and they all hate me. He's like, half of them don't even let me touch them.
Yeah.
He goes, having horses run up to the fence and like not even look at you and put their head down and will allow you to touch them, not knowing you, never smelling you before, never seeing you, is not really heard of. And I'm like, cool, well, this is why. And he was like, wow.
Yeah.
you know, and that is the story.
Wow.
And it's so incredible to see now because the supplement brand, and I told this story in a it wasn't a podcast, it was an interview with my supplement brand, and they're writing an article on it, and I told the same thing on the Froning podcast yesterday, and this is my story to tell. Like, this is what God has
beautiful, man.
told me to tell people. And what's cool is now this supplement brand is making a post, and the headline is a picture of me, and it says the horse that healed Matt Johnson's Achilles.
Wow.
Dang.
And they're going to publish this.
Wow.
And people are going, like, this is...
It's a wild story, man.
Yeah.
Strikes me that it all happened literally like altitude-wise at the lowest moment.
That's what I was.
Like you literally, like it feels like the whole...
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That's the whole thing I thought. I hadn't thought about that till right now.
Yeah.
Exactly what you just said. It was the lowest moment. And then you said, I'm going to meet you in my low. I'm going to say yes to you, Lord. And then you started to climb.
Really good, Amanda.
I mean, that's what exactly I thought.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, totally, right?
Yeah.
Like I feel like this whole journey.
Because it was. Yeah, it was. Because we went down. It was the deepest valley. Yeah, that because Drew told me that. Did you hear that in the van?
I haven't heard that till right now.
About the valley? Yeah. Oh, yeah, you weren't there that morning. Yeah, Drew said it was like, I can't remember what valley this was. I could look it up. It's right outside of Post, Texas. I know that.
Right by the horse.
I'll never forget that.
That's so cool, man. Like I feel like the whole journey is marked by trials this time around.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think one of the big questions that keeps surfacing during this interview is like, okay, if I'm going through trials, does that mean that God is trying to tell me that this is a closed door and I need to look elsewhere? And that's a very complicated question that we can't give a formula to because every situation is different. But I do think one of the things that there is a lot of room for that we often forget is James 1 also literally says, consider it pure joy when you face trials of many kinds, because those trials are actually teaching you something. And so you have a whole experience of 2025 for both of you, really, that's marked by so many trials. And then at the very lowest point of all of that, you decide to be obedient to what is seemingly a very silly thing to stop and pet the horses, but it's actually very profound, and that's where the healing begins. That's
I
profound, man.
almost like feel initially, I don't think anymore, but I almost felt like dumb even saying it, you know, I believe a horse healed, like God healed me through a horse,
right?
And I'm like, people are gonna think I'm dumb. But then I'm like, I don't care.
Probably.
Like I don't care at all. But like, because like when I read that headline, the horse that healed Matt Johnson's Achilles, I'm like, that is so like just kind of cringy, you know? But like, it is the story that God has given me to tell, and I have to tell it.
The cool thing about it is there will be like the woo-woo crowd who's like, oh yeah, like animal healing, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But what they'll find out is God healed you, and He healed
Right.
you in a moment when He spoke to you in a way that only you would understand, right?
I
Like
wish
we
that you
talked
guys
about.
could have recorded the call to Ethan. I think I called him 3 times in a row when I like finally put this together, and then you had to like call me back.
Yes.
And I'm like, can you hear me? Because it was like so windy.
So loud.
And I'm like running on the side of the knee. He's
I saw this horse.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool, man. How's your Achilles doing?
But he was the one. Yeah, he told me this. He that's what he said. Is he goes, God will meet you where no one else will understand.
That's right.
There's stories all through the Bible like God speaks through a donkey to a guy, and people would hear that and be like, what? Like that's the craziest, weirdest thing I've ever heard. But God will reach to people in ways that you can't deny, and so. It actually wasn't the horse that healed you, it was God that healed you.
Yeah.
But He used that moment of this encounter where you stopped to actually, like you said, do what you guys had talked about, and this whole thing comes full circle. And that's the 2 things we really talked about that day before you left were He's going to speak to you. It won't be in the exact same way as last time, but He's going to speak to you in your language where you'll know He's with you in this journey. And you were ranting while we were talking about social media, and you're like, I don't even know, man. Like, I just want to like tell people about Jesus now, and I don't know what's happened to me, but like it used to be about the likes and the follows and the views and all that stuff, and now I see I have a platform, but I don't care about that stuff anymore. I want it to be for people to hear about what I found in Jesus, and He just has fed you another cool story to ultimately get, whether it's the woo-woo person that's like the horse energy, whatever, or the Christian that's like God doesn't do miracles anymore.
The more that I talk, the more, it's like you have to get it out there.
Which is kind of what happens in the book of Acts. We always quote when they say like, hey, like the world's going to do what it's going to do. You guys can do what you want to do, but we can't stop speaking about what we've seen and heard, which is we can't stop talking about our testimony of what Jesus has done in our lives.
Yeah.
And now you're seeing you gained a platform And for a while you thought it was for money or whatever, but now you're seeing the opportunity to go, let me go get on this podcast at the church with you guys so I can talk about how God's working through my life. Like, someone told you that 3 years ago that would be your incentive.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
What? Like, why would I do that? But
I'm like, yeah, like I have to go talk about this, at Red Rocks on the podcast.
Yeah, but it's the cool thing about when God's working in your life, you can't help but want other people to know. And I would picture, I'd be doing a workout or like having a day while you're on your run, and I would think like, well, Matt's running 50 miles today, so I should probably keep going. Yeah. And then I'd picture other people like from our church family that are going through hard times, people that are dealing with loss, people that are struggling, but going about their day and persevering as Jesus calls us to, and letting him continue to work through not just the good days, but the bad days, and picturing all these different people and their testimonies and how God's working in it, like drove in me. Like, I want to keep after whatever God has for me today and big picture. Yeah. And your run is kind of a metaphor of that in a lot of ways that I think will impact more and more people. And who knows what other runs or other things you do from here.
Nothing of that distance anymore.
But it's clear.
Right, Amanda? Yeah, that's what I'm supposed to say?
Until next month he decides to do it again.
I'm never doing long runs like that again.
Until the Lord speaks. I believed every word.
But when we first started talking, you're very much like, well, dude, I don't know if I should talk about Jesus to people, because what would they think?
I was
if you knew my life and like the things I put out, and so I'm like, that's what God does. He's going to use anybody that's willing, and in your brokenness and in the flaws, he's going to bring stories through that stuff too, and continue to get you the ability to reach more people. And like your buddy that you said, like, you hang out with me long enough, you don't have a choice, is kind of that faith of like, God's moving so much through my life, and I'm going to keep pursuing him so wholeheartedly that you're just going to watch it and see it, and you're going to see him move. And I've seen too much of what he's done to deny it, and I know it's going to happen in your life. So I love the story. I don't love that you went through really hard times in those moments, but I love the fruit of your perseverance through the suffering and the challenge.
I love that I went through it, because to me it was the closest that I will ever get to know what the true suffering was like. Or is like, like, what is it like? Because there was so many times that we had exchanged a text about that or something, where it was like, or maybe I just had thought this in my head, where I'm like thinking about the suffering that Jesus had to go through, not just being put on the cross, but the 40 days of fasting and temptations, right? Like just the suffering that like, I'm like, bro, would I rather have my Achilles hurt, the worst pain ever, for 6 days? Or would I rather fast for 40 days and be tempted? I'm like, I'd probably take Achilles, right? But like it was just like it was putting into perspective that like, and I think I told Ethan this, where I'm like we are, I think, and I don't know, nobody take what I say to mean anything, but like, we are kind of put here to suffer. Like, this isn't, that's what I came up with then, is I'm like, this isn't our final place. Right. Like we are just like, this world is not a good place. Yeah. And you're here suffering now because you get to live eternity forever, somewhere that you will never feel that again. And that was kind of what I had in my head then, is like, I'm going to lean into this, because I know that Jesus had the ultimate suffering, and this is the closest that I will get to knowing remotely, not even close to what that was like.
Yeah, you get a piece of it.
You almost feel like you're I'm not trying to downplay it, but you know what I mean? Like, you almost feel like you're part of that.
You're meeting him there. There's a story in the book of Acts where the disciples, a couple of them, just get the crap kicked out of them for talking about Jesus. And it says they like considered it an honor and joy that they got to suffer like Christ.
That was exactly how I felt, truly. Like that was it right there. Yeah.
There's a depth to faith of that where I think.
What was that? What was it called?
It's in the book of Acts. We'll find the verse. I just point to Brian like he should know. But
it's Acts 21:38.
There's maybe somebody fact check that.
Check.
I don't think that's right.
But I think there's a beauty, like the testimony when everything goes right is cool. It's inspiring. But people really like that have suffered and gone through tough stuff, that question God or don't believe in God, like your friend. They want to know, what does a Christian respond to? What does a Christian do when things are not going well? When things get really hard, when you are suffering, how do you walk through that? Are you like everybody else that finds every other way to self-medicate? Do you still trust in God? Do you quit? And those are the testimonies ultimately that we all look to. And that's the early church fathers, or all those guys who are like, they all got killed for it. Yeah. And that inspires us because they gave everything for the gospel. So when we get a taste of that, it feels like I counted a blessing that I was considered worthy to suffer a little bit like Jesus
Yeah.
did. And there's something beautiful and profound and deepening in your faith if you're willing to keep going to those layers.
As a like very young Christian, and not by my age, just as in like as I build myself into my faith, what I find for anybody that you know is young as well, like me, and that, you know, that is brand new in this journey, is for me to have that, like what you just said, to where, you know, what do you do in that moment? What I found is in the morning when we listen to worship music, we'll put on worship music every morning, and we'll, you know, either together or separately, you know, read the Bible and pray. Is in my prayers, what I'll do is before it was like, please, like allow me to do your will today and not my own, which is, yes, still said as well. But what I've now said, and I don't know why I changed this, but I changed it this summer, is I'm like, please close doors that you want to close and open doors that you want to open.
It's a great prayer.
Like, I don't want to open my own doors. I want you to open the doors for me. But I feel like that gives me enough faith to know that when something is going bad, it's not me.
Yeah.
It's him saying, this isn't the right way. Right? And so I feel like that can give younger Christians and people brand new to their faith something to lean on, is if you pray to God every morning and just say, hey, like, if there's paths you want me to go down, open the door for me. And if there's not, close that door. Because then when something bad does happen, it allows a human perspective shift of, oh, well, this is kind of what I asked for.
Yeah.
So like, is this God? And then instead of being upset and pulling away, you almost kind of lean into it.
Interesting.
You know, like you're like, oh, like maybe God didn't want me to do that. You know, and then it's like, okay, like thank you for doing that. You know, and then like for me, like that's how I did it, because I had all my natural human reactions. But then once I kind of shifted that prayer to where I was like, I just told myself, I'm like, if I'm praying for it, then it's got to be God giving that to me, because I believe it is. And whether it's God closing out, you know, saying, hey, this isn't the right opportunity for you, or hey, I'm going to open this door and this is the way I want you to go. Then I just lean into that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It also allows your default to be action, right?
Yes.
Like, to assume like, okay, so I'm going to
Action
go
in
today.
everything. Yeah.
And then God's going to adjust as we go. We always say God can't steer a parked car.
Yes.
But so often we're like, well, I'm just going to stay stuck until God audibly tells me to go. And it's like, or you just go out your front door and start making disciples and start loving people and start living your life and trust that he's going to adjust as you go. And you're obviously a great picture of that. And I feel like your whole race is just another example of you defaulting towards, let's do this thing. And then we're going to trust that God's going to close the doors along the way. And I think people can learn a lot from that. I can learn a lot from that.
Yeah.
So thanks for living that out.
Yeah.
Really cool. Final thoughts, Doug?
No, I'm just kind of, I got enamored with that horse story. Seriously, like that.
That's great. It's beautiful.
I know. I wish I had my phone. I could pull it up.
Well, we can get it to Threeth and we can
Well, you know,
show the
Job,
horse.
I can get it. Yeah. I need to drop it. I want people to see.
Yeah.
There's a video of it and everything. It's cool.
there was like so many things on my mind with scripture that just popped into my heart as you were talking this whole time. But like at the end of Acts, they set sail because God told him to. And then Paul literally says the winds were against us. So it's like, if God told us to do this, then wouldn't the winds be for us?
Yeah.
But it was
So funny.
we're supposed to go do this, and the winds were against us. So
Yeah.
both of those things were true at the same time.
Wow.
But then there's also, and I'll send you this offline, but Job, in that whole, that whole thing's about suffering. But in one of the final chapters, he's kind of arguing with God about, kind of going back and forth between him and the creator of the universe because he's in pain.
Yeah.
And I'll just read like a few of it. But God says back to him, "Are you the one who gave the horse his powers and adorn him with the shimmering mane? Did you create him to prance proudly and strike terror with his royal snorts? He paws the ground fiercely, eager and spirited, then charges into the fray. He laughs at danger, fearless, doesn't shy away from the sword. The banging and clanging of quiver and lance don't faze him. He quivers with excitement, and at the trumpet blast races off at a gallop. At the sound of the trumpet, he neighs mightily, smelling the excitement of battle from a long way off, catching the rolling thunder of the war cries." So God's saying back to Job. He's using a bunch of different animals in that chapter, saying like, did you give the hawk its ferocity? Did you give the horse
Where he's
its
saying
power?
like no, I did.
Exactly.
Yeah, the answer is
Which
no.
is
It was
God.
I was just making sure that
you got it.
like, hold on. You never know the way I'm going to take
the very end of Job.
I'm going to be like, so Job literally did that?
Job gives the horse its power.
It's a very grand.
That would be me. And then that's why I need Amanda. That's why I need Amanda. She's like, hey, so at church today when they said that God did that, and I'm like, no, Job. And she's like, so let's talk about it.
Yep.
It's a very grounding thing.
Yeah.
When you have like that kind of moment.
He gives Job a tour of creation and is like, did you do this? Did you make that? As Job's questioning, and he's like, I did all of this so you can trust me. One cool thing about horses too is they actually are like utilized for equine therapy as very like emotionally healing for people that have gone through traumatic things. We had a partner that had a ranch for girls who'd been rescued from trafficking, and they would do therapy with the horses. That there's something that like, again, I know it sounds woo-woo to people about animals, but God has created those, and some of them are gifted in a certain way that I think they can like have a relationship with us in some beautiful way. So there is something healing about horses in general and the way that God crafted them, and then for him to heal you in that moment and have it be when you're petting this horse after that whole conversation is just
I told Amanda this was towards the end, and once again, I don't know if this is just my idea and I blame it on God or what, but
you can tell us if it's
I'm like,
biblical.
hey, I think God put something on my heart. And she's like, oh, here we go. Like, we're not even done yet. And I'm like, we need to buy a ranch outside of Austin. And I'm like, and we need to have horses and we need to run a nonprofit retreat. And I'm like, so Amanda,
kind of up your alley.
For anybody that doesn't know, like Amanda has a wellness retreat that she's now forging to be faith-centered, wellness-based. And our biggest expense for this retreat is finding a property to have it at.
Right.
And so I felt like God put this on my heart, and Amanda's like, well, where? And I'm like, it's gonna be within 20 minutes of Austin, and we're gonna have
I love it.
5 to 10 acres, 20 minutes from Austin. And she's like, all right, like where? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, she's like, when? And I'm like, I don't know. But like, I'm actively going to search like so our goal in 2026 is to buy a 5 to 10 acre ranch, 20 minutes from Austin, have horses and turn, I think we're still chatting, but turn that into a nonprofit retreat to run. So that was you when you said that. I literally looked over
really
at her.
cool.
Really cool.
And
Well, it's good that you put the word out there, because a few weeks ago for Kayla's birthday, she said her dream gift was this rug. And the next day a guy showed up and gave her the money for the rug that listens to the podcast very generously.
Oh, I love that.
So we might get a call from somebody that's like, hey, we've got a ranch we've been trying to
5 to
sell.
10
yeah,
acres.
And
please,
Matt
if
and
you
Amanda need to buy it.
or if you have any advice, I'm open to it. Like we need, I'm calling, like I've been calling the banks and friends who are very wealthy and own businesses, but that's the goal, is to run the retreat, a faith-centered retreat out of this ranch very close to Austin. There's no like homey ranches. There's like a couple ranches that they run like stuff out of, but like there's nothing like that here. And I want to have like a gym on the ranch. Like I want to have horses and animals, and we want it to be the faith-centered, like that people can come to and it can help them.
That's awesome.
And I don't think I come up with that such like a great idea by myself. So that's why I'm like, yeah, there's definitely God to put it on my heart.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah. I told her that, and she's like, wow. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Isn't it crazy?
I think, well, in closing, I think the cool thing for us is watching people who encounter Jesus and start building a relationship with him, and then watch their passions, their gifts, their platforms, all of that collide with him in such a way that we were talking about, like after this run, man, who knows? Like you're probably going to find yourself, we're talking about Uganda, like running with kids on dirt roads out there and experiencing that. And then maybe it's starting this ranch and retreats. And Amanda's done an awesome job of doing the same thing, of like, I've been helping people with this, with wellness retreats and things like that. And I want them to know Jesus. And so let's bolster this thing and build it bigger and get more people doing that. And so to both of you guys, it's been really cool to watch God working through your lives and to see your perspective shift of things like social media and money and all the things that so many people look to and go, oh man, he made it. He got all this cool stuff. And now you're just going, well, I don't need any of this. I just want to use it to help people know Jesus.
Yeah. It's like, how do you steward? I just had I just was on a panel with GoBundance, who they are a group of men. Your net worth has to be over like 3 million to be part of this. and it's like a mastermind group.
How did you get there?
I was speaking to them,
I'm kidding.
which is cool. No. I was
I'm
speaking
kidding.
to them. So I was on this panel, and that's what we were talking about. Where I'm like, I feel like I
True,
feel like
he came and spoke
I was
to us.
obviously there.
Yeah.
He
so-
came and
Yeah.
spoke to us. It was really cool.
Yeah. Thanks for doing that,
I'm
Matt.
like, you're welcome. I'm like, I feel like I'm being called to the more that I can give, whether that's not just money, but like time, right? Like I still don't even understand the money that I have, or like even if I have money, I don't even know what that's like. You know, I
should probably know that.
I grew up
probably knows.
I grew up in a trailer. I never went to college. I don't even understand anything, so I just consult other people. But I'm like, the more that you give, I feel like the more that you get. And like I feel like that is so true. And that's what I was talking to those men where I'm like, I feel like, you know, like if you consider yourself a wealthy man, like I feel like you are here to steward that into the more that you lean into giving and even having a faith-based center at that, the more that it is just brought back to you.
Which is a perfect segue to say the next couple weeks we'll be in our Kingdom Builder series. And the whole idea is the life of the generous gets bigger. Yeah. And that doesn't always mean you get a check in the mail because you gave,
are we
right?
at that? Are we at that now?
We're hitting it.
Oh, man.
But like your life grows in freedom and joy and peace and hope and love and an understanding of why you're here, a purpose to what you put your time, treasure, and talents to. And we love having those conversations with our church because just like you're talking about, what you find is when you start to live an open-handed life, more opportunities, more conversations, more people come to know Jesus. So be back these next couple weeks for Kingdom Builders to all our Red Rocks family. And Matt, thank you.
Awesome, bro.
Shout out to Ethan Morales for the best turkey that we've ever had.
That was
Shout out.
crazy.
Happy
Ethan.
Thanksgiving to all of you.
We did it in an hour.
We did it.
That was good. Wow.
Close.
Hour and a half.
Close. He consults Amanda for time. Happy Thanksgiving. And the last thing is what we are most grateful for are all the Afterthinkers who listen to this podcast. Hope you've been inspired by today's conversation. Have a great Thanksgiving with your families and friends. See you next week.